fam, JV back with another episode of Crypto News Alerts. Today is November 18th, 2022, and we have a lot to cover, so let's dive right in. In today's show, Bitcoin price target now $13,500 as Bitcoin trader says exit all the markets. That's right, Bitcoin shrugs off the FTX news, but analysts still warn that Bitcoin and altcoins are due for significant losses. Quoting Crypto Capo, Bitcoin to $12,000 to $14,000 is a matter of time. Altcoins much lower, 40 to 50% drop on average. Also in today's show, Binance, the world's largest crypto exchange, sees a record 138,000 BTC inflows as opinions differ on what the Bitcoin price will do next. That's right, Bitcoin exchange inflows echo 2018 crypto capitulation, but the reasons for the large-scale moves from Binance remain unclear. Also in today's show, Sam Bankman-Fried rumor mill is running amok, including a trading course, FBI extradition, as well as an FTX hack, and even a sex tape. Ouch. Also in today's show, I'll be sharing the worst case scenario for the King Crypto amid this FTX fallout, according to crypto analyst Benjamin Cohen. Quoting him here, I think whether it's the bottom or not will depend on how long it goes. If it does go a lot lower, it is more than a 20% correction from here, then I think we can start to make the case that the bottom is in. Also in today's show, billionaire venture capitalist Tim Draper's 2023 Bitcoin price prediction of $250,000 per coin remains unchanged. That's right, despite the current problems in the crypto business, the billionaire venture capitalist and serial blockchain investor Tim Draper is sticking with his near-term Bitcoin prognosis. Despite the present crypto crisis by FTX, Draper remains unwavering in his belief that Bitcoin will reach $250,000 in 2023. Also breaking news, El Salvador says they're going to buy one Bitcoin every day, according to their fearless president, Nayib Bukele. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. I want to welcome everyone just tuning in to today's episode of Crypto News Alerts. This is podcast episode number 1107 of the Crypto News Alerts pod, and today is November 18th, 2022, and naturally, we have lots to cover, so let's dive right in and check out today's Crypto Market Watch. As you can see, all the major cryptos are currently pumping, back in the green. We got Bitcoin up 0.87% for the day, trading just under 16,700 at the time of this recording. We got Ether outpacing Bitcoin, up 1.5%, trading above 1,200, while Binance Coin, XRP, and Polkadot all pumping in the green, with Litecoin one of the top gainers in the top cryptos, and not much in the red. Just we got Solana, Near, and Hedera. HBAR, and checking out CoinMarketCap is sitting at 836 billion with 49 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. The current Bitcoin dominance is 38.5%, with the Ether dominance at 17.8%. And checking out the top 100 cryptocurrency gainers in the past 24 hours, as you can see, we got Chili's up 12%, trading above 25 cents, followed by Stacks up about 7%, trading above 24 cents, followed by Algorand up 9%, trading at 28.5 cents, and below that we have Quant and Litecoin. And checking out the top 100 cryptocurrency gainers for the past week, we still got the Trust Wallet token leading the pack, up 95%. And I don't blame them, as you know, centralized exchanges have a lack of trust for apparent obvious reasons with the FTX debacle and collapse by Bankman-Fried along with Alameda Research. So a lot of people are moving to decentralized wallets such as the Trust Wallet, and hence why it's pumping right now. And we still have FTT down 42% for the week, and it's currently trading at around $1.50 at the time of this recording, keeping in mind billions have been lost in liquidity due to the FTX crash. And checking out one of my favorite indicators, the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, shows we're currently rated a 23, back in extreme fear. Yesterday was a 20, last week a 25, and last month a 23 in extreme fear. With that being shared, welcome everyone just tuning in to today's live show. We're going to be discussing a $13,500 target, which would mean Bitcoin dropping another $3,000 from the current price, according to some crypto analysts. So let's break this down. Bitcoin ranged around 16,500 November 17th as markets digested the latest events surrounding the exchange FTX. The saga continues. Data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView showed Bitcoin seeing only mild volatility at the Wall Street Open. The Bitcoin/USD pair showed acclimatization to events around the FTX insolvency, the latest including revelations that Alameda Research has been immune from liquidation while trading on the platform. That's right, after the departure of SBF, the new CEO Johnny Ray III wasted no time in acknowledging the extent of the problems left in his wake. In a filing with the U.S. Bankruptcy Court for the District of Delaware, Ray describes the corporate control of FTX as a complete failure. Quoting him here, "Never in my career have I seen such a complete failure of corporate controls and such a complete absence of trustworthy financial information as occurred here." Facts. Now, United States lawmakers intend to hold a dedicated hearing on FTX next month, while SBF is reportedly subject to efforts to extradite him from the Bahamas. Now, the Bitcoin price action has nonetheless managed to shake off related volatility, as evidenced in the modest reaction of news of contagion impacting the crypto lending arm of Genesis Trading on November 16th, which impacts everything, including the Genesis or I should say the Gemini exchange, as well as the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Now, analyzing the current climate, however, popular commentators on November 17th were far from optimistic. Quoting Crypto Tony, "Bulls really need to reclaim 17.6 for us to be able to shift nicely in a long position." And Crypto Kappa, repeating a warning that altcoins can see further losses of up to 50%, has even franker message to his followers, as I read in the intro. Bitcoin to 12 to 14,000 is a matter of time. Altcoins much lower, 40 to 50% drop on average. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the analysts. And on the topic of a potential Bitcoin downside target, fellow analyst Titan of Crypto flagged various high liquidity zones on exchange order books. The largest of these, comments said, lies at $13,500. Quoting him here, "Although there is liquidity to grab around 18,500, 17,200, and 15,500, the bigger one is lower at 17,500, they stated. Now, Analytics Resource Material Indicators, meanwhile, calculated that the total bid liquidity between the spot price and 13,000 as $195 million on the Binance order book, which you can see here on your screen. So there you have it. What are your thoughts surrounding a Bitcoin double bottom here for this cycle, reaching a low of 13,500? Do you feel this is likely or unlikely? And when do you feel this is likely to occur? If you agree, let me know in the comments below. And with that being shared, now let's break down our next story of the day and discuss record inflows into the Binance exchange, which is not surprising as there's been a mass exodus of billions of dollars liquidity leaving FTX and they had to find another exchange. But it is still shocking to me the fact that so many people are putting their crypto, especially their Bitcoin, in another centralized exchange. Considering FTX was the second largest exchange in the world and it just went under, I have a feeling this can literally happen to any exchange. So only keep enough exchange on the exchange that you're willing to lose, and obviously never hodl or custody your crypto on the exchange. For the long haul, move it over to cold storage wallets such as a Trezor or Ledger, or forever hold your peace. Not your keys, not your cheese. And I know I'm preaching to the choir, but it's very important as a lot of people are new to crypto and they don't learn from these lessons, and it's very unfortunate they have to learn the hard way. But with that being shared, now let's break down our next story of the day and discuss these record inflows into the Binance exchange. Yeah, that's right. Data from on-chain analytics platform CryptoQuant shows on November 18th, a giant tranche of almost 60,000 BTC entered Binance's wallet. Bitcoin price contagion fears thanks to FTX insolvencies and related panic selling are ongoing at this time, but now the latest on-chain figures from Binance could provide an additional catalyst for these nervous markets. The exchange has seen its biggest daily inflow on record. This is the largest of all time, with November 18th not even over. Partial data from CryptoQuant puts the current inflows at over 138,000 BTC for the day thus far. And keep in mind, it's only noon. We're not even halfway through the day. Now, to put the deposit into perspective, even taking into account the outflows of not just Binance, but of the other exchanges, the inflows are still the largest since November 30th of 2018. And 2 weeks later, Bitcoin bottomed at 3,100 after falling 40%. So for Binance itself, meanwhile, the move means that its Bitcoin reserves are now higher than before the FTX debacle began, which had 573,000 at the time, compared to, 513,000 on November 6th, currently has 573,000, so at an all-time high. The event has not gone unnoticed, and one commentator was quick to note that just over 59,000 had come from a DPEG of Binance's Bitcoin token. Now, BTCB is a Bitcoin-backed token on the Binance chain with a publicly known reserve address. The wallet contained 68,200 BTC at the time of this recording, having seen outflows of 127,000 Bitcoin on the day. And unlike regular operations, however, the decrease in the BTCB market cap at the same time as the reserve decrease suggests that genuine selling is afoot, according to the Crypto Quant CEO. He explained the theory behind he called sell pressure in the following Twitter thread. Rationale: if you are CZ, the Binance CEO, why do you unpeg Bitcoins from the BNB chain? Your goal is to support projects on the BNB chain. No announcements from Binance means it's customers or investors' money. So I think this activity was highly likely from customers who are in an urgent situation. Now, opinions were nonetheless far from aligned on the issue, with others arguing that the giant inflows were simply internal reorganization, which could have no further repercussions. Quoting Colin Wu here, Binance saw a large inflow of up to 127,000 Bitcoins and a large outflow of nearly 50,000 Bitcoins today. On-chain verification shows that these inflows and outflows are organized by internal wallets, which are transfers between cold wallets and wallets for proof of reserves. And he also says, I don't really understand the jump rumors. A technician at analytics platform Nansen tweeted about the general inflow tally to Binance and also shared there have been some massive outflows past 7 days, but also inflows elsewhere. They are transferring to Binance to dump. Doesn't seem right. And as Cointelegraph reported, exchange users withdrew literally over $3 billion in the days following the FTX debacle, going under in a trench which continues. So there you have it. What are your thoughts surrounding keeping your crypto, your precious little crypto, on these centralized exchanges? Let me know in the comments right down below, and hopefully you're storing your crypto in cold storage. And with that being shared, now let's discuss the rumor mill running amok on SBF, as so much is happening. It's hard to even keep up with, and it's all unfolding in real time on crypto Twitter, which is very entertaining to say the least. But let's break this down, shall we? Rumors and speculations surrounding former FTX CEO Bankman-Fried continued to bombard the crypto community as the effects of the FTX collapse proceeds to be felt throughout the crypto space. One of the rumors floating around social media is that SBF filed a masterclass on trading that was scheduled to drop on December. How many of you would attend that masterclass? With the former FTX CEO being at the center of attention in the past few weeks, some community members pointed out that they are willing to pay $500 for leaks on footage of SBF's classes on trading. As Autism Capital shared here, rumor SBF did a master class on trading that was set to be released in December. It was already filmed. Now, reports citing anonymous sources pointed out that the American and Bahamian authorities are talking about flying SBF to the United States for questioning. And despite the rumors, anonymous sources have also claimed that no one has been taken out into custody yet. However, social media posts also claim that the Manhattan U.S. Attorney's Office is preparing charges against the former FTX CEO for defrauding customers, and Bahamian authorities seized FTX digital markets assets. And aside from these, the FTX hacker who drained $288 million worth of Ethereum from FTX started to swap almost $8 million worth of BNB tokens for ETH and Binance USD. As the hacker moved the funds, crypto community members speculated on the identity of the hacker, suggesting it could be an FTX insider or even Sam Bankman-Fried himself. Who do you feel that hacker is likely to be? Let me know in those comments. And as the FTX collapse continues to spread its impact, rumors also keep flying throughout the internet. Last week, rumors of SBF's arrest and claims that employees are scrambling to sell the company's assets were circulating online. And in addition to these, unconfirmed claims that employees invested and lost half their life savings. So freaking sad. On the exchange also ran wild on Twitter. And meanwhile, a source familiar with the matter also recently told Cointelegraph that the former FTX CEO and FTX executives are looking to flee to Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. However, this plan may not be the bear fruit, as the United States and UAE signed a treaty that works against criminals on February 24th, 2022. But there you have it. There's also rumors of a sex tape between him and Caroline Ellison, which I would not even want my worst enemies to see. But these are the type of rumors running out there right now. Also a rumor after the Bahamian authorities seized the assets off of FTX. There's supposed to have been like billions of dollars worth of assets. There's only 600,000 worth of assets because the back door that SBF set up, he likely siphoned those funds, or the higher ups controlling him may have been involved as well. Who knows? All I know, this is corruption in its highest form. We must keep in mind that the SEC and Gary Gensler were the regulators that were, having ongoing meetings with Bankman-Fried and turning the other cheek. So if anyone's to be held responsible, I say it should be the regulators, the SEC, and Gary Gensler, whom is in charge. But let me know your thoughts on those comments right down below. With that being shared, now let's break down the worst case scenario for the King Crypto, shall we? Here we go. Popular crypto analyst Benjamin Cohen is examining whether Bitcoin has bottomed out after falling by over 75% from its all-time high, which we reached in November of last year, of almost 70,000. Cohen tells his 774,000 YouTube subs that based on the flagship crypto asset trading history, Bitcoin could be on the cusp of a major bottom. Quoting the analyst, there are a lot of cyclical indicators for Bitcoin that are probably coming up pretty soon, right? We had major bottoms in the crypto asset class beginning of 2015, basically then to 2014, but it bled into 2015. We had a major bottom at the end of 2018. We are potentially looking at another major bottom in crypto at the end of 2022 or early 2023. This would correspond to what historically would be a major bottom, and I would contend that this would be a market cycle bottom. And according to the crypto strategist, digital assets bottom out after about a year of a bear market. As he shares here, not only do you need price-based capitulation, you also need time-based capitulation, right? A time-based capitulation is needed as well, and oftentimes in crypto, that looks like at least a year of a bear market. In 2013, it took more than a year. It took like 14 months before the bottom was actually in. And Cohen says that one of the definitive signs that the bottom could be in will be the total market cap of the total 125 top crypto assets falling by over 20% from the current levels. Quoting him here, I think whether it is the bottom or not will depend on how low it goes. If it goes a lot lower, if it is more than a 20% correction from here, then I think we can start to make the case the bottom is in. If it is not, then I still think we need to be sort of on our toes and assuming that it can still continue to take a while to play out. So there you have it. And to watch this video, the analyst did entitled, "Where is the crypto bottom? Worst case scenario?" Check the show notes below the video in the description. And again, welcome everyone just tuning in to today's episode of Crypto News Alerts, podcast episode number 1107. Now let's discuss a bullish price prediction from the billionaire venture capitalist himself, Tim Draper, who is sticking by his $250,000 prediction for next year for the King Crypto in 2023. Let's break it down, shall we? And shout out to Tim Draper. Despite the current problems in the crypto business, the billionaire venture capitalist and serial blockchain investor Draper is sticking with his near-term Bitcoin prognosis. Despite the present crypto crisis by FTX and Bankman-Fried, Draper remains unwavering in his belief that Bitcoin will reach $250,000 in 2023. Send it. Let's freaking go. Draper had this to say about the FTX fiasco. FTX was centralized, dependent on a single founder. When a currency is centralized, a central bank, for example, has a single point of failure and may also be manipulated. He further states that since Bitcoin is decentralized, as opposed to the nature of the FTX exchange, he has full reasons to believe Bitcoin wouldn't be affected in the long term by FTX failure. Quoting Draper, there has been no adjustment of our pricing forecast, he adds. He still hopes Bitcoin will get to $250,000 in 2023. He also claims that the most recent events have once again exposed the worst weakness of a centralized finance, and hence the fall of FTX will very likely only accelerate the decentralization of crypto. As he shares here, I think this fiasco is going to bring on a lot more Bitcoin maximalists. Note that your money is not secure in a centralized system, whether crypto or fiat. Facts, preach. And in relevant news, Draper issued his now famous Bitcoin prediction, saying Bitcoin will reach $250,000 by the end of 2022 or by the beginning of 2023. And despite severe bear markets and the consequences of the bankruptcy of major crypto exchanges and investment organizations, the investor has repeatedly reaffirmed his prognosis, doubling down. However, not everyone is is as bullish on the future of Bitcoin as Draper. On November 7th, a Bitcoin supporter criticized Draper's estimate on Twitter, stating that it is evident Bitcoin won't touch 250,000 by mid-2023, referring to the late McAfee's incorrect Bitcoin forecast. Rest in peace, McAfee. He urged reflection on the past, and Binance's CEO CZ claims that FTX debacle has pushed the crypto sector back many years and that further regulation is on the horizon. So there you have it. Let me know your thoughts surrounding Draper's $250,000 Bitcoin price prediction by next year, which is literally right around the corner, which will lead us into 2024. I also like to point out the stock to flow model predicts a $100,000 Bitcoin price sometime between 2024 and 2025. But with that being shared, now the moment you have all been waiting for. I have so much respect for the citizens of El Salvador and their leadership and President Nayib Bukele, who recently made an announcement on crypto Twitter saying they were going to start purchasing 1 Bitcoin every single day, which started yesterday. So much respect to everyone in El Salvador. Talk about BTFD buying that freaking dip and putting your money where your mouth is, right? Let's break this down. Bukele, president of El Salvador, announced late last night that the country would be purchasing 1 Bitcoin every day starting today, which is now officially as of yesterday. The move to dollar cost average, better known as DCA, into Bitcoin is common in the community, however novel for a nation state. Currently, the country holds a Bitcoin treasury of 2,381 BTC, valued at over $39 million at the time of this recording. Bukele has made a habit in the past year of making large Bitcoin purchases during times of market volatility and buying the dip. And outside of just purchasing BTC and holding it on balance sheet for El Salvador, the Bukele administration has fostered the birth of events gathering world leaders from countries all over the world to learn about the financial freedom that Bitcoin adoption offers. For example, in September, it was announced that over 30 countries with over 110 speakers, including Senator Indira Kempis from Mexico, let's go Mexico, would gather to discuss financial inclusion. And during the visit, attendees were introduced to the financial applications of Bitcoin and were able to see Bitcoin in action at Bitcoin Beach. Then in October, the state treasurer from North Carolina in the U.S. traveled to El Salvador on his own dime to learn about the changes Bitcoin has already made for the El Salvadoran economy. Quoting him here, "What we witnessed in El Salvador is very useful in our efforts to encourage more support and understanding for digital assets and emergent technologies here in South Carolina," said Dennis Fasoltis, president of the South Carolina Engineering Technologies Association. And as Bitcoin continues to foster throughout the El Salvadoran economy through new initiatives such as Bitcoin diplomas, Bukele and his administration clearly plan to double down on the country's investment into the king crypto, Bitcoin-focused economy. It remains unclear how long the purchasing of 1 Bitcoin per day will continue. But what are your thoughts? For how long during this bear market do you think Bukele and El Salvador is likely to continue purchasing 1 Bitcoin per day? Let me know your thoughts and speculation in the comments right down below. With that being shared, now I want to dive right into one of my favorite segments of the live show, which is the live Q&A. Let's see who we have here in the house with us here today. BitBud, always a pleasure, family. It's great to see you and always an honor. Bitcoin Cow, welcome. Bring Facts, welcome. Jeff, welcome. BitBud says here, regulation will bring the big companies and not until that happens, or the CEOs. You think big money wants to risk another FTX? No way. I mean, that's something that Mr. O'Leary has been preaching as well, that until there is clear regulation, don't expect the big money, which is the trillions sitting on the sidelines, to be put into the crypto. But unfortunately, the regulators in the United States are making it extremely difficult, and probably on purpose. They want uncertainty, they want fear in the markets so they can crash the markets, manipulate the markets, and do what they do best, right? Yes, thank you, Jeff, for the reminder. Will Smith, that like button as if it was Bankman-Fried himself, and smash that subscribe, turn on all notifications, as I greatly appreciate that, as it helps out the show tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. Welcome, J-Dub the Laker. It is good to see you, family, as always. Telling what's poppin'. Bring Facts, as I am happy what I have been able to accumulate thus far. I am officially 3 years old in the space. Well, congratulations. The space as a whole is still a pup, and we are just getting started. We have a long ride to go, so buckle in and prepare. Rudy, welcome, family. He says, question, will Genesis need 1 billion by Monday happen? I say no. Your thoughts? JV, I feel things are going to get a lot worse. I mean, if Genesis ends up becoming insolvent, it is not good for any of us in the crypto industry. So I pray and hope for the best. I don't know what they're going to be able to come up with, but I pray and hope it all works out in the end for the hope of everyone here with us. I don't want to see things get much worse, but then again, maybe things have to get much worse before they can get better. So whatever is going to happen is going to happen. Be prepared for all situations, whether we're going to crash lower, start accumulating more, position yourself to do so, or if we start rising unexpectedly, take advantage of it. Maybe dollar cost average now, seize the moment and pull a Bukele, start purchasing as much Bitcoin per day, DCA, and do your thing. Welcome Liverpool Film Club. I appreciate you tuning in here with us. He says, is it worth DCA, just $100 a month for paupers like me? I think it's irrelevant the amount of Bitcoin that you purchase, and that's what makes Bitcoin so special. One Bitcoin can be divided, correct me if I'm wrong, by 100 million Satoshis. So when we say start stacking sats, the amount of stacks to sat are irrelevant because we're all in a different economic situation. So if you can only stack $5 a day and you can't buy a whole Bitcoin like Bukele, do what you can, because something is better than nothing, in my humble opinion. Not financial advice, just my 2 Satoshis. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Yeah. Welcome. Someone here says 14 to 16,000 is the bottom from the guy who called the $69,000 top. Word. Bitbuzz says water, food, ammo, silver. Absolutely. Be prepared for the worst. Thanks for the reminder. Share the Trade says, how can we earn Bitcoin? That's a great question. Maybe you can get a job where you get paid in Bitcoin. And if you don't get paid in Bitcoin, maybe you can take your salary and convert it into Bitcoin. I think a lot of people do that. I think in the future, it'll be a lot more common where you work for Bitcoin versus work for fiat, because no one's going to want to work for fiat because fiat is trash at the end of the day and will only continue to lose its purchasing power as Bitcoin continues to gain purchasing power against the US dollar. J-Dub says, agree. That's the beauty of Bitcoin. You can buy $1. Exactly. It doesn't matter if you're poor living in the favelas of Brazil. If you can purchase $1 of Bitcoin, it's better than nothing at the end of the day. So do what you can do. You know what I mean? Don't compare yourself to others. Imagine if you had to compare yourself to Michael Saylor, and it's like Saylor has hundreds of thousands of Bitcoins. Oh, I can't even afford that, so let's not even get in. It's not the right way to look at it. Compare yourself to yourself. Become a better version of yourself. Stack more Bitcoin today than you had yesterday, and just do best for yourself and stop comparing yourself to other people in the industry, because that's not fair and it doesn't serve you. It's not good in the long run. Bitbuzz says amen. J-Dub says I agree. Bring facts weekly plus dips. I am a knife catcher. I feel you, dog. JV, when do you think the Fed will pivot? I believe nothing that the Fed says. So if they say they're going to pivot, I don't expect them to pivot. And vice versa. So anything that J-Powell and the Fed says, I don't believe them, and I take it with a grain of salt, because they don't earn our trust at the end of the day. You know what I mean? 3 years of accumulation. Congratulations. That's pretty cool. Shout out to Bukele. Yes, absolutely. Bukele is the man. Much respect for him. Yeah. Bring facts. Good to see you too as well, fam. But anyways, with that being shared, let's dive into the big finish, which is the final segment of the live show. And he also, Bring Facts says, show of hands, who trusts the Federal Reserve? Hopefully we see nobody's hand go up. Trust nobody, verify everything. That's why we BTC. Facts. So in today's show, we discuss the Bitcoin price targeting 13,500 as Bitcoin Trader says to exit all the markets. Also shared Capo's prediction that Bitcoin will hit between 12 to 14,000 as the altcoins drop another 40 to 50%. On average. Also in today's show, we discussed Binance seeing record 138,000 Bitcoin inflows as opinions differ on what the Bitcoin price will likely do next. We also discussed the SBF rumor mill running amok, including his trading course, FBI extradition, FTX hack, as well as that gross sex tape rumor. Also in today's show, we discussed the worst case scenario for Bitcoin amid this FTX fallout, according to crypto analyst Benjamin Cohen. And we also discussed Tim Draper, the billionaire venture capitalist, his $250,000 Bitcoin price prediction remaining unchanged even after the FTX crash. We also discussed breaking news of El Salvador to purchase 1 Bitcoin per day every day during this crypto winter. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments right down below, and I look forward to seeing you